Not only are there thousands of fans in Tampa today, there are also several watch parties back here at home, including this huge gathering at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
That's right. They opened the doors just a little bit ago at 1 o'clock. There was a basketball game, and then they let fans in who want to watch the volleyball match, national championship. This is a great way to allow fans to watch the big match together and really feel that electricity between all of them.
Exactly. I'm sure there's going to be a huge crowd there cheering on the Lady Huskers, and no doubt about it, the players will tell you the fans make a huge difference when they're playing as well.
And many from Husker Nation made the 1,500-mile trek to Tampa to cheer them on in person. Let's join Philip and Andy again just outside the arena.
Well, how about that, Andy? I mean, fans, of course, showing out here in Tampa, which we'll talk about in just a little bit, but showing up at PBA to come watch the match. And, of course, they've got, some basketball coming up here real soon as well. But got to love the absolute, I guess, love would be the way to say it, of these fans have for this program.
I mean, are we surprised that they went to PBA to cheer them on? I mean, if they can fly to Tampa, they're everywhere, and they want to see this team do well today and have a great matchup against Texas. And it's no secret how well this fan base travels. And at the Blue Carpet event on Thursday, you could see that and feel that love from these fans. As the team exited their bus, Husker Nation was out in full force to welcome the Huskers to the arena, giving Nebraska a little bit of home here on the East Coast.
Yeah, like you said, fans were decked out in their Husker gear. They brought signs and handed out some high fives as players made their way inside. You can really see how well this fan base travels. During that semifinal match against Pitt, over 19,000 fans from all over were in attendance to see the Pitt-Nebraska game, setting a new attendance record for a playoff match. And back at home, 1 million people watched not only the Nebraska and Pitt game, but the Wisconsin-Texas match as well, which I'm sure a lot of people were curious about.
I think that I would put it closer to the Memorial Stadium game just because people were a little bit farther away from us than they are in the Bob. I feel like at Bob they're a little bit on top of us. But I would say the energy was electric, and you could feel it when we were playing, and especially in that third set when we kind of felt like we had almost secured it, and so the crowd was crazy, and we knew there was a lot of Nebraska fans out there.
It has been a huge year for not only Nebraska volleyball, but the sport itself. All season long, we have seen attendance and television records. Laney Choboy just talked about it, 92,000 inside of Memorial Stadium. People are falling in love with this team and the sport more and more.
And the sport is growing, and it's programs like Nebraska, Texas, Wisconsin, Stanford, and so many others across the country that provide such great role models for young girls across the country to look up to. And it's been so cool to see this team grow alongside the sport. So it's been just such a banner year for the Huskers.
It really has. And, you know, you can see behind us, there is a, what do you want to call it? I'd say about a few thousand, probably more than 1,000. I don't even know why I'm saying that, but there's a lot of people here, and not just people here rooting on the Nebraska game or even the national championship game. Of course, we saw some Wisconsin Badger fans here. I'm sure there's some Pitt fans here. There's some people who just wanted to come down and watch the match, but there are a lot of people in attendance to witness this game, and boy, are we in for a treat. Annie, you got a chance to catch up with a few of our fans here, a couple Husker fans making their way early this morning to check out the festivities ahead of what's going on behind us.
Yeah, like you said, we were here early this morning, and we saw a sea of red popping up throughout the morning in front of Amalie Arena as fans were taking photos in front of different game day sites in front of the stadium, and we're getting excited for today's matchup. Even at 11 o'clock in the morning, these fans were ready for this championship match today, and we're excited to cheer on the Huskers. We have heard from several players on this team that these matches here in Tampa have reminded them of matches at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, and even the match in Memorial Stadium. And it's looking like they will be back here again today. These fans are coming from all over the United States to watch the Huskers play today, with many coming from Lincoln and even further.
Back in September, not knowing if they're going to make it or not. Oh, this is awesome. So many Husker people and the energy and the vibe, and they got all the boxes checked. They're peaking at the right time. Becca Alec with all those blocks in that other last game. Things are all going in the right directions.
We've been watching Nebraska volleyball for years.
We lived in Nebraska for 40 years and moved to Indiana for my job.